guess that's your way of saying hello. So hopefully you're watching this. So, hi, Heather Feather. Anyways, this book, I am not too far into it, but it's the chapters are like 3 to 4 or 5 pages long, so it's a quick read. It's a book that I think could be read like at a beach, on a day at a beach, and because there's 311 pages. Yeah. But I'm going to read the first 2 chapters. So, here we go. And I hope you guys can hear the cricket in the background. I have one in my laundry room, and I just figured it would add a little bit something to the video. So, yeah. And please comment if you like it, or like it if you like it, and comment if you have any ideas or requests for me to do. Chapter 1. I want to not ride the bus to school every day, but that would be a waste of a really big want. It'll take care of itself eventually. Until then, I put up with it like today. So what do I want? I want a copy of a giant-sized X-Men hasn't gotten a car yet, one who apparently ranks as worthy on the Dinah Jergen scale because her older brother is Steve Meyer, who I think dated Dinah's older sister or something like that. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to stuff like that. My car wouldn't start this morning. Bummer. Yeah, I told my dad that it has to be ready by the weekend because I tune it out and keep my head down so that no one will bother me. But being so close to Dinah rattles me. I keep wanting to turn and stare, but even I know that's not cool. So I say over. Good my eyes left as often as I can. I get flashes of skirt and leg in the shadow of what could be a breast, but I'm not sure and I don't want to risk looking for longer than like a tenth of a second. So it's short of like dumping the pieces of a puzzle out on the floor, looking at them and trying to put it all together in your head with your eyes closed. So close, so far. It goes like that for a little while, the bus jerking and bouncing along, making Dinah's anatomy do very interesting things, and she's apparently unaware of, and of which I'm woefully under-aware, given those quick glances. Dinah talks with Kayla, the usual idiots yell and chatter, and Mr. Dole's beloved country station blares out of the radio. At some point, I realized that I probably looked like an idiot, my head bent down, doing nothing, apparently, staring down at my feet. I pretend to look for something in my backpack, but there's just school stuff and a comic book in there. And God knows I don't want to pull out the comic book. Excuse me, guys, I'm so sorry. But there's just school stuff. God knows I don't want to pull out a comic book while Dinah's sitting next to me. I wish I had something, anything else to read, something that didn't scream geek at the top of its lungs and jump around in nerdly war paint. Like, I don't know, hot rod. When we screech to a tooth grinding halt at the school, a sudden brilliant stroke hits me. Dinah is sitting next to me on the aisle. She'll get up to leave and I'll get up behind her. From here to the exit, I'll be right behind her with an unobstructed view of the back of Dinah Jergens. Not as splendid a sight as the front, but not as bad in its own right. Sweet. So Dinah gets up and I grab my backpack, watching her legs as I do so. Wow. I get up and move to get behind her, and Mark Broderick pushes me back. Move it. He doesn't even look at me as he does it. He's a big senior with short bleached hair and a face like an old hamburger. He dresses like Eminem. If Eminem weighed 20 pounds too much and couldn't keep the sweat stains from spreading out under his armpits. This is the weirdest part. He smells like boiling leather.